I hereby call the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Commission meeting to order on Thursday, January 22nd, 2026 at 5:32 p.m. Reporting Secretary, will you please conduct roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Diaz? Here. Commissioner Gonzalez? Here. Commissioner Jogway?
Here.
Commissioner Nelson? Absent. Commissioner Reyes? Here. Commissioner Rodriguez? Here. Commissioner Wu? Here. Vice Chair Zacarías Torres? Here. And Chairperson Herrera.
Here.
Records show you have 8 members present. Chair Herrera, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much, Reporting Secretary. Next on the agenda, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're able to join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready, begin. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome back, Commission. We have our first meeting of the year, and yeah, I hope it's a successful one for this commission and for the city of Santa Ana. And the first that we have on the agenda are public comments. This is the time for the commission to receive comments from the public. We'll not accept any additional requests for speaker cards once we begin the public comment session. If you have not already, please submit your request to speak to the recording secretary. Speakers will have 3 minutes to speak, and for those that are on Zoom, you must dial *9 on your phone or click the button labeled raise your hand to be in the speaker queue once comments commence. Recording secretary, do we have any in-person or Zoom comments, public comments?
At this time, there are none.
Okay. You did provide us with written public comment?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you like me to read it?
Can you read that for the public, please?
Okay. The public comment was from Jared Lindo, and he said, I am a resident of Santa Ana in Ward 5 and live in the Washington Square. I am urging the city of Santa Ana to follow the recommendations of the feasibility study performed last year and listen to the Ward 5 community to budget for and purchase the available and vacant land at the end of Lowell Street and 15th Street for public green space and recreation. The community has asked this for multiple years. Please act on our behalf. We are a disadvantaged community and detrimentally deficient in green space with none available in our community.
Thank you so much. I know maybe someone has joined by Zoom. But if you are looking to comment, that would be the time. If not, then we will continue. Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. So we'll now close the public comment period. Next on is the consent calendar, which are items 1 through 3, which I believe are the minutes from the October 23rd, 2025 meeting, as well as the December 4th, 2025 meeting, as well as excused absences. Do I have a motion? Are there any members from the commission who wish to pull items from the consent calendar? And if not, is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Diaz. Second from Vice Chair Zacarías Torres. Madam Secretary, will you conduct roll call, please?
Yes. Motion by Commissioner Diaz, seconded by Vice Chair Zacarías Torres to approve items 1 through 3 of the consent calendar. I will now conduct the roll call vote. Commissioner Diaz?
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Commissioner Jogway?
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson? Absent. Commissioner Reyes?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez? Yes. Commissioner Wu?
Yes.
And Vice Chair Zacarías Torres?
Yes.
And Chair Herrera?
Here, or yes?
The vote is 8 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. That motion carries.
Great, thank you. Now is the section for informational items. We'll move on to informational items. I'll turn this over to our Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Deputy Director, Tim Pagano, to introduce the Senior Services section highlights.
Thank you very much, Chairperson Herrera and members of the Commission. Happy New Year. It's my distinct honor in 2026 to bring forward our very talented supervisors and section leads to give you guys a brief presentation on the highlights of each one of their sections. And today we have Juan Lara, our Recreation and Community Services Supervisor with oversight of Senior Services section. And he's going to share what him and his team have been doing and have been accomplishing and making a positive impact in the lives of our senior residents here within the community of Santa Ana. So with that, Juan.
Thank you, Tim, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Santa Ana Senior Center. Again, as you already heard, my name is Juan Lara, and I'm the Recreation and Community Services Supervisor with the distinct pleasure of overseeing senior services for our city. So, as you are aware, we are hosting the meeting today here at the Santa Ana Senior Center. But the Santa Ana Senior Center is one of 2 senior centers in the city that serve as the hub for anything to do with senior services. Both facilities are open Monday to Friday, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And they're staffed with 2 full-time staff. Here at the Santa Ana Senior Center, we have Ms. Jennifer Sirena, who's our recreation program coordinator, and Mr. Rogelio Robledo, who's our rec specialist. And at the Southwest Senior Center on the west part of town, we have Ms. Rocio Mesa, who serves as the recreation program coordinator there, and Ms. Marina Cisneros, who's our recreation specialist. So you're welcome to visit and learn more of what each of our senior centers has to offer, but obviously invite anybody who, is ready and able to join all of the fun activities that we offer there to pay us a visit and hopefully become an active participant. But now to tell you about a little more of what we have to offer. We have a variety of programs and services that we offer throughout the year, mostly focused in the following areas. So, recreation and fitness activities that range anywhere from arts and crafts all the way to Zumba classes. We have classes and seminars that are either hosted by our own staff or by some of our partners. Those classes include anything from nutrition all the way down to a fraud prevention seminar. We also have a variety of Spirit Week activities. Most of them are connected to our monthly celebrations, which I will briefly share a little more with you in a bit. We have our congregate lunch program that is offered at each of the facilities Monday to Friday, starting at 11:30. We also have a commodity distribution program where we provide, canned goods and non-perishables, not just to seniors, but the community at large. And so those distributions happen twice a month, and it's based on the family last name. We have our monthly special events. So once a month, we have a large-scale event at each of our facilities. Just yesterday, we hosted the New Year celebration over at the Southwest Senior Center, and tomorrow we will be hosting the Lunar New Year celebration here at the Santa Ana Senior Center. So hence the beautiful decorations that you see in the facility today. We also offer excursions to many local attractions in the area, and expose our seniors to some of these attractions that they themselves have possibly not ever visited before. And then lastly, we have a comprehensive transportation program that offers a variety of transportation services to our senior participants. But again, I'll give you a little more detail in a bit. Next, please. So to talk about our special events, again, our special events at our facilities are primarily all about friends, food, and fun. These are themed events that our staff really work very, very hard to, just make them very fun and exciting for our seniors. It does include live entertainment, plenty of food, and very, very enticing raffle prizes. But really what our seniors enjoy the most is to dance. So you're always welcome to come and join us, and especially the gentlemen. Our lady seniors are always in need of dance partners. So if you have some availability and a good pair of dancing shoes, please wear them and come on over and join us. But again, you have an example of what we have to offer on our monthly special events via the decorations that you see in the facility today. Next. One of our large-scale special events that we host every year, and this will be our 4th annual International Older Adult Celebration. Usually takes place on the first Friday of October, so this year being October 2nd, 2026 at Jerome Park. It is a large-scale event that goes from 9 in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it offers a variety of resources, plenty of entertainment, very, very appetizing food, and obviously the always appreciated house cleanings, among many other activities. We also offer our seniors the opportunity to showcase their talent by, again, performing, whether it be a musical number or a dance number, a couple of singing numbers as well, and again, whatever other talent they like to showcase during the event. But overall, it's just a great opportunity for our seniors to get together, to learn from each other, and to take advantage of everything that the event offers, including, again, the resources and the health screenings that we offer. But at the end of the day, they'll just head home very tired, but very, very happy. So we invite you to join us at that event. It is completely free, and the team is already preparing for this year's event, though it's not happening until October. But again, we put a lot of time and effort into making it the successful event that it's been the last few years. Next. One of the other components that our senior services offers and that our seniors enjoy quite a bit is our excursion program. So we have been working again every year to make them very, very interesting and appealing. So this is the listing of the excursions that have been set for this year. So starting next month, we will be taking them to the Natural History Museum in Los Angeles. In April, we will be going to the Huntington Library in Pasadena. In May, we will be going to the Placita Olvera, but this is through Metrolink. And our seniors enjoy that experience. Last year, we went to the San Juan Capistrano mission. This year, we're taking them to Placita Olvera. Then in the summer, in June, we're going to take them to the Getty Villa. Last year, we went to the Getty Center. This year, we're going to Getty Villa. And in July, we're taking them to the OC Fair. And again, this is in an effort to maximize our resources. We're actually using our own shuttles, transportation shuttles, to then provide shuttle service to and from the OC Fair. Then in October, the ever always popular Old Town San Diego excursion will be taking place. And then we close out the year in November with a shopping trip to the Citadel outlets to again help and support our seniors to get a head start on their Christmas shopping. But as you can see here, we also have a picture of our first ever excursion to Disneyland. And thankfully, through resources that the city has provided, we were able to take them completely free. And we took 88 seniors to Disneyland last year. We're hoping to do that again, so hopefully we'll be able to count with the financial support to make that opportunity happen again for more seniors in the future. But that's a listing of our excursions. Next. As I mentioned earlier, we also have a comprehensive transportation program. You probably have seen those very, very colorful, shuttles traveling down the neighborhoods in our city. But these are our shuttles that offer the daily transportation program. The transportation program is for seniors who either have no access to their own vehicles or are unable to drive. They must be Santa Ana residents. And once they register for the program, they're able to receive door-to-door service from their home to the senior center of their choice. Once they're at the senior center, they're also able to participate in a variety of other transportation-related programs, including weekly shopping trips and exciting field trips to more of our local parks and other destinations that are a little more accessible to our seniors. But again, we've been able to provide this program through the collaboration that we have with the Orange County Transportation Authority, who primarily funds the program. It is through this funding and then the city support and contribution that we count on 3 vehicles as a part of our fleet. And for the last 3 years, now we've also been able to accommodate those transportation needs via 3 full-time drivers, which has been very, very helpful in stabilizing the program and the services that it provides. Next. We also have been working very hard as a team, to focus on our seniors just making new connections and supporting each other through the concept that we've been referring to as Thriving Together as a program. Through this program, we do a little more of a specialized, programming that caters to either the needs or interests of our seniors. So as you can see, we offer English for Spanish speaker classes, as well as English for Chinese speaker classes, in particular at this facility here, since we do have a high percentage of Chinese speaking participants. We have a gardening club. We also have now received a very, very positive response, and this activity keeps growing month after month, but it's our movie matinees. So once a month, we have a movie at the center, and we provide our seniors not just with the movie-going experience, but they receive their own little bag of popcorn, those as pizza and a drink. And obviously, again, then they get to enjoy the movie in the company of their friends. We also host billiard tournaments at the center level, and then we have the championship rounds, where the winners of each of the billiard tournament at the center then face each other off. We've now also instituted a talent show opportunities for them throughout the year. We also have a table tennis program that is growing in popularity. And lastly, again, in trying to keep our seniors active and healthy, we also have a very active walking club that we transport them to, so they get to explore and see all of the different parts in our city. But that's the concept behind our Thriving Together program. Next. Now, obviously, again, we rely solely on, primarily rather, on the city's general fund to provide the facilities and programs that we offer, but we're not able to do it all just with that type of support. So we rely on the support and collaboration of a variety of different partners. These are just some of them that I'd like to highlight for you and share briefly how it is that we collaborate with them. The Meals on Wheels program, obviously, they're the ones that provide the meal service on site Monday to Friday, but they also provide a home delivery service to homebound seniors in our city. Santa Ana College has been a great partner in primarily handling also the teaching of a variety of classes, mostly focused on health and fitness. Amistad Medical Clinics, they have been a very good partner. They are the ones that provide the entertainment during our special events. They also provide the raffle prices. And obviously, because of their expertise, they're also the ones that handle the health screenings during our special events, and as well as then taking the lead on such during our international older adult celebration. The County of Orange Office on Aging primarily works with our seniors in providing assistance when it comes to Medicare and a variety of other senior-related services. The Santa Ana Public Library, one of our other city agencies, they are the ones that primarily provide support when it comes to technology assistance, as well as now working with our teams to establish reading clubs at both of our senior centers. The Community Legal Aid of Southern California, again, providing legal advice and assistance to our seniors. And they come on site and with scheduled appointments with our seniors, and again, provide whatever legal assistance that they might need, either completely free of charge or, at a reduced cost. Two of the entities that we also have currently been working on that have been providing also a lot of now financial support to our operation is Tuscany Espresso and Cafe. And they've just been so excited to work with us and are just wanting to be involved as much as possible. Primarily, again, in providing coffee and catering services for some of our events. And then Scan Health Plans, they are actually a sponsor for the city, and senior services is one of the key areas that they wanted to focus on. And so they're the ones that actually sponsor our coffee bar at our senior centers. But we're always looking to grow and expand our partnerships. So any organization that you are familiar with or that you know that is interested in possibly working and collaborating with us, please put them in contact, and we'll look at seeing how we can better work together to continue to provide quality services, programs, and resources for our seniors. Next. So not only do we rely on businesses and organizations for support, but we also rely on our residents, to provide time and support to our seniors via their volunteer services, at either of our facilities. So as you can see here, it says Senior Services is always looking for volunteers to share their time and talents with our seniors. The volunteer opportunities at both senior centers include, but are not limited to, assistance with our front desk and/or as greeters, with the lunch service, on a daily basis, with the coffee bar, which gets busy throughout the day, to teach a class, if again, they have a particular expertise or skill that they can teach class. They can also assist in leading an activity and or assist with whatever programming needs we may have at the facility, but more so also providing assistance as needed during our special events. So if anybody has a little bit of time or a particular skill or experience that they want to share with our seniors, again, send them our way and we'll put them to work. All right, and next. And I, also just like to highlight that obviously representation matters, and especially when it comes to our seniors in our city. So we're very, very, proud of the fact that we have been able to incorporate 2 seniors, one each representing of our senior centers as part of the commission. And you're all very familiar with them, but again, it's Ms. Sylvia Reyes from the Salto Senior Center and Ms. Nancy Gonzalez from the Santa Ana Senior Center. And though they don't look a day older than 30, they do have to be over 55 in order to serve on the commission. They must reside in the city of Santa Ana, and they must be registered and active participants at the facility that they're also currently representing. They also must be willing to serve for a minimum period of 2 years, and Ms. Sylvia has done that already. Ms. Nancy's well on her way. We appreciate that. And obviously, be willing to attend the monthly meetings and be an active advocate for seniors. So, as such, we just want to thank them for their service and the representation that they bring, and the voice of seniors that they project during the meetings and every opportunity that they get. So, thank you again, ladies, for your service. I also want to thank you all for your time and your visit to the Senior Center today. Hopefully, you learned a little something about our senior services. And ultimately, I also just want to thank my team for always giving it 100% and in doing so, making me look good. Yeah. So thank you again. This is my contact information in case you're interested in reaching out. But at this time, if you have any questions, I'm open to trying and answer them for you.
Thank you so much, Juan, for your presentation. Manager Juan Lara, and for your presentation. Do we have any questions from the commission?
I don't have any questions, but I really commend you. That is broadly a lot of activities. One big thing for seniors with help is to keep busy, and you do that, and you give them information. So I really applaud the labor to keep the money going in that area. Thank you.
Appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Thank you.
We find that a lot of seniors are alone, and the socialization that's provided to them here is excellent. People come every day looking forward to having a cup of coffee, meeting with their friends, talking, having lunch together. So it's really great for seniors and their mind and activity and to be active.
Thank you. Vice Chair Secretary Torres.
Good evening. You said that all residents are able to access the food distributions.
Yes.
How would residents sign up for the food distribution?
So again, they can visit each of either of the senior centers that's closest to them. The staff will guide them through the registration process, and then they'll issue them a little card that would serve as a reminder of the date that they need to come back and collect their commodities. Okay?
Commissioner Diaz?
I wanted to thank you for everything that you do for the seniors and for your, your staff too. I know. And then I've been there in some of the events that we've had, and they're very fun. And everyone gets involved and is very welcoming. And so for that, I want to thank you. And I wanted to ask a question. So if the lunch is from 11:30, so you have like 11:30 to 1. Or...
The actual serving time is 11:30 to 12, and it's really only a half an hour, but it's because everybody shows up and we're at capacity for the most part. If there happens to be still additional food left and somebody shows up past 11:30, then they're able to be helped. But in order to be guaranteed that they'll be served, they're asked to be here between 11:30 and 12. Okay.
And do you or have you ever had the decision to say we cannot take you because we don't have enough funding? Like you have to turn people down like to participate?
No,
Oh.
no, we've never turned anybody away for no reason, and much less because of funding. Okay. We pride ourselves in, again, making it a very welcoming and open facility, and we always try to, again, do the best that we can in whichever small or big way, meet the needs and the interests of everybody that walks through our doors.
So I just want to thank you for doing that and making everyone feel that they're a part of it.
Absolutely, thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Any other comments or questions from the commission?
Well, if nothing else, just in closing, I know you all received a copy of the Cultura magazine, but starting on page 29, you have a little more detailed description of some of the activities and programs that we offer at the senior center. So thank you again for your time and, oh, sorry, yes.
Great job,
Thank you.
with, supporting seniors over the several years that I've been on the commission. I wanted to ask, as it relates to the excursion program, do you anticipate, has there been a sort of consistent, you mentioned 88 seniors, has that like increased, or do you anticipate it increasing or decreasing, or like as it relates to the budget?
It was 88 for Disneyland.
Okay,
Because again, we used our shuttles, we wanted to maximize the funds that we had for that activity just to cover the admission. And that's why we were able to afford to take 88 of them. But for all of the other excursions, we take 110 seniors because we charter buses, and then we have one bus per senior center that gets to go on the excursion. Now, previously we were able to absorb the cost of everything, transportation, admission, and the like. At this point, due to, again, some budget priorities, we've rearranged our excursions so that we are either taking them somewhere where there is no cost associated to it, or that it's minimal. And then that, admission charge is passed on to the seniors. But again, we do our best to keep them very, very low cost and accessible.
great, thank you. But if funding was there, it would help support, with maybe the number of attendants?
Absolutely.
or-
Absolutely. We used to take two buses, from the Southwest Senior Center, and one from here. But again, we've adjusted as needed.
As needed, okay, but you could always use
Absolutely.
more, okay. Well, this-
Yeah, and again, I think Ms. Sylvia and Ms. Nancy can better speak to that than I would, so.
Have you all seen an impact, or do
Yeah,
do you see the need for more
Last year,
seniors?
yeah, last year, for example, the Orange County Fair, was, free, and now we had to pay a little bit. And, not transportation, but just, the entrance. And also some of the activities, we have to pay a little bit, as before it was for free because the budget was there, but now it's, different. But yeah, we still have fun and we appreciate it anyway. So it's up to anybody if they
Wants to,
wanna pay. Because a lot of them don't have a car anyway, so it's a very, a great opportunity to go, because, the child takes them, and, it's up to them if they wanna pay or the transportation is.
Did you have another question?
Yes, given our growing population of residents, are we looking into maybe having another senior center, building us another senior center, including a senior center somewhere else for our residents? Because I know already, each senior center is already at capacity.
Correct.
So we already have each senior center at capacity. With our incoming seniors coming up,
The silver
Where would you
wave,
put that?
as it's referred to. And obviously, yes, I know there's been some advanced planning, and it's part of our master plan to in the future, open more facilities, including hopefully another one or two more senior centers to again meet the needs of the growing population of seniors, in the future. But obviously, that's all tied to funding. So we hope that down the line, we will have the funding available to make those new facilities a reality. But if not, we also have a contingency plan of trying to incorporate some degree of senior programming at the recreation facilities, throughout the city. So that, again, those seniors that, for whatever reason, are not able to make it to the actual senior center itself, to have an opportunity to still gather, interact, learn, and enjoy time with their friends at the recreation center closest to them.
and I like that concept too, because you are putting the seniors in the community that they live in, so they can maybe interact with their own neighbors. So I like that aspect of an alternative, since we don't have the funding right now. So I just wanted to make sure that we are looking into something.
For sure. Thank you.
You scared me, we're aging.
I'm looking forward.
Commissioner Conway?
What is the average or some of the, like, how many senior centers does Costa Mesa have versus Tustin versus Orange? Like, what does that look like compared to Santa Ana?
I will tell you this, Santa Ana is one of the few cities that actually has 2 senior centers.
Yes.
Most other cities have 1 and some actually have none. You know, so instead it's kind of a shared space with a recreation facility. But we are actually one of the few cities that actually has 2 and that are city run.
And do we have, would you say, more of an older population compared to some of these other local cities, or are we more younger?
No, we're more of a younger city, you know, as a whole. You know, but obviously because we are a large city, we still have a very high senior population in our city that just 2 senior centers alone cannot fully support.
Got it.
Okay?
And not only that, I know that people from other cities come in and use our center.
I didn't want to say that, because obviously it's a little pretentious if I say it, but
Nobody
yes,
knew.
we have a lot of seniors that reside in other cities that prefer to come to ours than to go to their local ones. And again, but yes, thank you for pointing that out. Again, I just don't want to say that myself, it's be a little pretentious on our part, but it is true, it is true.
Well, they use our resources, that, let's say we have a field trip and they're allowed to go on that field trip, when really it should be only Santa Ana residents that go on that field trip.
Maybe we can send a bill for the
Or
other.
look into that, I mean, invoices require if that's not happening.
No, we have quite a few.
Quite a few.
Yeah, even, Irvine, Victoria, yeah, they go.
We'll send them the bill.
We have a few.
Yeah, well, a lot of the seniors, just so you know, though, they do have a tie to Santa Ana. They either used to reside in the city before, or they still have family living in Santa Ana. But yes, you know, it's not a high number, but we will definitely look into it as a suggestion for prioritizing our Santa Ana resident seniors.
Yeah.
Okay?
I also have a question in relationship to the senior transportation program. This is really great. In Costa Mesa, they have the GO in Chivo, and that provides rides to actually all constituents within specific ward that they have there. But you mentioned can you explain a little bit more about the weekly shopping trips or kind of these full-time drivers? Is that something that you have anticipated in this year's budget, or?
Yes, no.
As you're thinking about the 2026, 2027 budget?
Yes, no, and I know that for our administration, senior services continues to be a priority, so we do anticipate to continue to operate these fleet of 3 vehicles with the 3 full-time drivers. But as I mentioned, the way that we chose to structure the program is to really focus on providing that door-to-door transportation for seniors from their homes to our senior center. Once they're there, we do have weekly shopping trips, and it's to different grocery stores or other stores of the senior's choice, so they can take care of whatever shopping needs they have for that week. And then again, we have the walking club that is supported through the transportation service. And then we also have little mini field trips to our, parks and other points of interest, primarily in Santa Ana, but also in the surrounding communities. To, again, not only just get them to get out of the house, but also to see and or take care of whatever needs that they may have as it pertains to shopping and otherwise.
And if I may, just to add on top of that, some pressing needs from our senior services section. While we do have funding for our full-time drivers currently, a lot of that is subsidized by the SMP program that we're involved with OCTA. And we've actually been able to forecast that we can have these drivers for 5 years fully from funding from OCTA. But at some point, probably this year, we're going to start messaging towards the administration that we'd like to keep those drivers, because obviously the need and the demand is there, in terms of the door-to-door services that our senior services section has coordinated, and obviously, our residents appreciate that service and everything. So that's what we're going to start messaging in budget development, that we're going to need those positions to come off of the SMP funding cycle and start being absorbed into the general fund, so that they can continue to happen in perpetuity as long as we continue to offer those services out of the senior services section and everything. So we are planning to do that during budget development so that we can continue those services to our residents. In addition to that, we could also use help from you in messaging towards your council members. We currently have a parking situation that exists here at Santa Ana Senior Center in which our seniors have to pay, and they get validated as a discounted price and everything, but again, it still becomes a financial impact for our seniors that attend Santa Ana Senior Center here. And what we've done is we've done some financial analysis, and it ultimately comes to about $13,000 per year. But again, that's something that we're going to be asking the administration for their consideration, because we don't feel that our senior residents should have to burden that cost if they want to come and participate at this particular center and everything. So anything that you can do to champion that for us with your respective council members would really be appreciated, especially during the budget development cycle.
Of course, no, this is so important, and I think particularly in the immigration context, people are scared to leave their homes to go shopping, and so there's a distrust of government, so I know that you've built so much trust with the seniors here that having folks the ability to actually get a ride or get a ride here and then be able to utilize these services, which is, I'm thinking in the context of Costa Mesa too, I'm so appreciative of their services, and so just also appreciative of this. Thank you for highlighting the budget portion. I think it's so important, as it relates to folks being able to even actually access this center, and there being a financial barrier to the services that were being offered here. So thank you. And I just wanted to also, no, I think that those are all the questions that I had for you, Manager.
Well, if nothing else, just again, a little friendly reminder, because we just talked about parking. You'll hopefully brought your parking ticket with you. On your way out, please see Eddie at the front desk and he'll validate it for you. Okay, but please do that on your way out. Otherwise, you'll only have about a 15-minute grace period to get to your car and exit the parking structure. All right, well, thank you again, pleasure. And if you have an opportunity to swing by our event tomorrow, it starts at 10. Okay, thank you.
Next, I invite our Deputy Director, Tim Pagano, to present the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Staff Report.
Thank you, Chairperson Herrera, and again, good evening, Commission members. In the spirit of 2026, we're going to be highlighting the sections, just like what you saw Juan do here, because as you can tell, I can give a 30,000-foot overview of all the great things that are happening, but to really get the ground level sense of the work that's being done, by our teams in each of the respective sections, I want to bring them before you so that you can be able to ask the questions that you asked today and get a little bit more of a real-time answer from our teams, and really, a level of appreciation for the work that they do on a daily basis. They're the ones that are making the direct impact on our community, daily. So I appreciate the opportunity to bring our sections before you and for them to do their presentation. So for us, I'll be doing a brief presentation like I typically do each month on our recreation division. So we'll get started, and I think we're going to be starting with athletics. So if we just go to the next one, yep. So currently, the 2026 boys basketball season began in December with 460 participants. And we have a girls volleyball clinic for grades 3 through 8 that will be held between February and March at Godinez High School, featuring skill stations and scrimmages. So that's expanded programming out of our athletic section, trying to incorporate new experiences, specifically for new sports for our residents to be involved with and everything. Our City of Santa Ana Adult Softball League started back on January 8th. And they are playing over at Jerome Park, so we're excited that that's kicked off again. As always, our recreation centers, specifically Salgado and Jerome, continue to offer diverse athletic and leisure programming, which includes aerobics, pickleball, boxing, dance, sewing, karate, and gymnastics, with strong youth and adult participation.
And finally, our athletics section provided over 1,000 field permits and 21 picnic reservations that were issued for both December and January. Our aquatic section, our pools are currently closed for maintenance, repairs, but we're also still working towards summer of 2026, and we've already held our lifeguard instructor training for some of our guards that are currently on staff, and essentially what that is they're taking them from being lifeguards and now lifeguard instructors. So our internal staff can now expand our offerings in terms of how we certify our lifeguards, our incoming lifeguards. So we're basically really building out our infrastructure so that it's not just relying on our supervisor and our coordinators and our specialists. Now our lifeguards are lifeguard LGI certified so that they can help us with the training of our future guards and our guard candidates and everything like that. So I think that was completed just a few weeks ago, and we had, I think we added 10 new LGIs into our infrastructure there in the aquatic section. We continue to work closely with American Red Cross, Kaiser Permanente, and USA Swimming, and we've also expanded our grant inventory by working with the Association of Aquatics Professionals and receiving a Coast Guard approved life jackets to enhance safety at our recreation swim offerings. So those 25 US Coast Guard life jackets will be deployed during summer 2026. Our lifeguard recruitment is beginning, and we are also on the verge of deploying our Emerging Lifeguard Leaders Program, which returns in February in anticipation for our first hiring event, which will be taking place in March, and then our subsequent hiring event, which will be taking place in April. So those are our big, that's our big push for recruitment of lifeguards so that we can fill our quota for the 2026 season, which will feature a brand new pool that will be added into the inventory over at Santa Anita. And then subsequently in the fall of 2026, Memorial Park Aquatic Center will be added into the inventory. So we'll have a total of 5 pools by the end of this calendar year, which will mean a lot of lifeguards and a lot of aquatics programs. We'll move on to the next slide, please. Our community engagement section, we just got hot off the presses our winter spring 2026 Cultura, which is in front of all of you. A very great job by our community engagement team to pull all that together, which as always features library, zoo, and recreation services programming for the periods between February and May of 2026. Congratulations to our community engagement team on another wonderfully produced Cultura magazine. Engagement continues to rise in social media with Santa Ana Parks on Instagram reaching over 10.5 followers, 1,000 followers now, and 148 posts published between November and December of 2025. Very excited to share that we have new title level sponsorships that include VinFast Auto and Robinson Pharma Inc. At $10,000 each for our 10th Lunar New Year Festival, which will be happening next month. And in addition, the Anaheim Ducks are negotiating a renewal to support multiple citywide cultural festivals and a brand new hockey program. So we're very excited about that prospect of working closer with the Anaheim Ducks in the future. In addition, and lastly, the new instructor intake webpage streamlined operations for contract classes, and participation reached 296 between the months of November and December 2025. We move on. Our health and wellness section, Roosevelt Walker Community Center and Lawn Bowling Center continue to offer diverse wellness activities, engaging over 120 participants between November and December with our community programs and classes. Across the 5 community gardens, over 660 participants joined various workshops from November through January. This is a slow time in our community gardens just because of the daylight savings time. So obviously our operational hours have been reduced, but still a strong showing from all of our community garden participants. Our Recreado mobile recreation continues to outreach in local parks, engaging over 55 residents in outdoor play and learning. And then, and lastly, our Santa Ana Wilderness Club promotes outdoor exploration, with excursions to Santiago Oaks, Carbon Canyon, and Hagador Canyon. So all very exciting stuff coming out of our health and wellness section and engaging our community in ways that get them outside and get them moving and everything. I'm not going to go over senior services in depth, but I think Juan did a very good job of that during his presentation. So the bullet points are there, but as you can tell from what Juan and his team do on a daily basis for our seniors, very impactful, very positive, and we're very lucky to have him and his team spearheading that effort for our senior service, our senior residents within the city of Santa Ana. We move on to our special events section. Our special events team processed 7 third-party event permits and 1 film permit during November and December. And we are fully underway for our 2026 special events, which include the Tech Festival, which is next month, followed by our 5K, 10K fun run, which will feature a superhero theme this year, which we're very excited about. And also our summer Movies in the Park series, which will be coming back to multiple parks across the community. The Plaza Navideña tree lighting ceremony drew over 2,000 attendees, featuring holiday performances, food, arts and crafts, giveaways, and support from local businesses. Current priorities include vendor recruitment, traffic and safety coordination, and partnership development. So we're actually in the process of conducting RFP, requests for proposals, for a lot of our special event services that we rely on: staging, audio visual, fireworks, drone capabilities, and all that type of stuff. So we'll be putting out those RFPs relatively soon and hoping to get vendors that will provide us great service in terms of how we deliver our special events. If we go on to our youth and teen section, El Salvador Community, Garfield Community Centers continue to provide enriching programs, encouraging creativity and active play. Seasonal excursions for our teens offer new learning and social experiences. I think they just went roller skating recently, so that obviously is a throwback to the past. I haven't been roller skating in a long time. Seasonal events include Fall Camp, Journey to the North Pole Open House, and the Winter Wonderland Celebration. And the youth and teen team has been actively collaborating with the health and wellness, sports and library programs for cross-center activities and outreach. In conclusion, across all centers and programs, from youth sports, senior activities, aquatics, and wellness classes to cultural events and special festivals, the division continues to serve thousands of residents of all ages, promoting recreation, health, and lifelong learning citywide. We have strong community engagement and partnerships from the American Red Cross, Meals on Wheels, Kaiser Permanente, and the Anaheim Ducks, which really allows us to expand programming and really work alongside some really great organizations that are very supportive of the work that our teams do. And the division maintains a year-round calendar of events, enhances facility programs, expands digital outreach, and secures grants and sponsorships to sustain inclusive, safe, and high-quality recreation, education, and social experiences for all Santa Ana residents. Of note, for special events, like I mentioned earlier, the Tech Festival, in collaboration with the library, is taking place Saturday, February 7th, 2026, from 1 to 6 p.m. at Centennial Park. We invite all of you to come out and attend. It's always a really great time. I'd like to recognize Demi Perez, who is sitting right over there. We recently concluded a Recreation and Community Services Supervisor recruitment, in which we had 5 internal candidates that all represented themselves very well. But ultimately, Demi was promoted to Recreation and Community Services Supervisor as of what, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. So. And lastly, a shameless plug, your aquatics section supervisor and myself, we've been selected for a national conference to speak on the behalf of the city of Santa Ana. We're actually doing a joint workshop at the National Conference for Association of Aquatics Professionals in tandem with Temecula Parks and Recreation. It's a tale of 2 cities. So we're basically going to compare and contrast the differences between Temecula and Santa Ana, Temecula being a established aquatics program, and having an established aquatics culture comparatively of that set to Santa Ana that has an emerging aquatics culture within the community. So we're looking forward to doing that. Kristen Mormon, our community services supervisor, myself, and then representatives of Temecula are going to be representing Santa Ana and Colorado Springs in the middle of February. So with that, I'd like to conclude my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Great, thank you, Deputy Director Toronto. Do we have any questions from the commission? Commissioner Diaz?
I do, I have a question. I was seeing in social media, there's gonna be an event in the Santa Ana Stadium about food. Is there gonna be a lot of vendors with food? Is that something?
Is it a, we have, so part of our efforts with Santa Ana Stadium is to start treating it as an asset, comparatively to that as a community asset, right? So for a long time, the community has had access to Santa Ana Stadium, and we're happy to balance that out, but what we're really trying to focus on is how do we sell Santa Ana Stadium? So there's a lot of third-party rentals that are happening this year. I think maybe one is happening this weekend, which is a faith-based activity. I want to say it's music, possibly food, and that's going to be taking place. But later on this year, we also have a Ramadan-esque rental that's going to be taking place out of the Santa Ana Stadium, in addition to concerts that are going to be taking place and everything like that. So in addition to, you can keep on going, soccer events from Orange County Soccer and potentially even Chivas that is going to be coming to Santa Ana Stadium. So our athletics team has been working, our athletics and reservations team has been working really hard to sell Santa Ana Stadium. And as a result, we're really hopeful that we're going to be able to demonstrate that to not only the commission, but also to the administration as far as our cost recovery related to Santa Ana Stadium this year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, probably, just talk a little bit more.
Right, yeah. So we're really trying to optimize the amount of cost recovery that we're able to bring in for the city. It's been not necessarily a challenge. We were challenged to try to bring in more revenue through there, and like I said, our reservation team has been doing a really great job in doing that and engaging with a lot of different people. And I think what really helped was our proof of concept, which was I think 2 years ago, which was the Battle of the Mariachis. It was a proof of concept to demonstrate that Santa Ana Stadium could be a venue for sporting events, concerts, so forth and so on. And this year is really going to be the implementation of that.
Okay, I look forward to it. Thank you.
Awesome, of course.
Vice Chair Secretary Torres?
Do we have any events planned coming up for the World Cup? Because I can imagine like having events at the stadium and maybe making some profits off of that.
Sure, yeah, we've been in discussions with the Orange County Sports Commission. They tried to pull together an effort where it was almost going to be the selection of 5 cities that could have watch parties and everything. So we're still in dialogue as far as how we're going to do that. But yeah, you're going to be able to anticipate us doing something for the matches that are going to be taking place. One thing that we're working on currently is that with the replays mini pitch that is out at Cesar Chavez Campesino, we are in discussions and are almost signed on the dotted line to do a World Cup tournament for boys and girls 16 to 18 years old. So information about that will be coming out shortly. But what's really exciting about that is through our efforts of providing this World Cup tournament, we're going to actually be able to send a delegation of maybe 10 to 20 kids that will actually be able to go see a World Cup game. And in addition to that, there are delegations from Portugal and Italy that are coming also as part of the people that are the communities that have had replay mini pitches like us in Santa Ana that are going to come and play our Santa Ana delegation. So there's a lot of fun stuff that's coming. We just haven't really shared anything because we're still in negotiations to kind of figure out how everything's going to work together and stuff. So we are responsible for a community event. And so in that community event, that's most likely when we will be having one of our watch parties over at Cesar Chavez Campesino.
And what about our esports program? Has that started?
That has shifted a bit, only because we've had some transition in personnel. That was really the focus of one of our team members that has subsequently gone to another organization and everything, so congratulations to them. So we're still evaluating how we can continue that. I think there's variations that have kind of popped up and we're exploring still, but it's still in its infancy stage.
So we have the computers and they're all set up.
Mhm.
We just need instructors.
I wouldn't necessarily say instructors. I think it's probably more along the lines of leads, right? So I think there was at least a path that was forged by the person that was spearheading that effort and everything. And since the transition, there's been a lot more new faces that have come into that section, the youth and teen section. And so we're just kind of recalibrating and determining how we can deploy it and get that started back up again.
Maybe we could reach out to UCI. I know they have a very strong esports program, and maybe some students that have to do like the field studies hours could come and maybe lead an esports program for the city.
Sure, yeah, we were in a very strong dialogue with UCI and Cal State Fullerton, their esports teams, prior to the transition. So it's just a matter of reestablishing those connections and putting something together, but we'll continue that effort. Of course.
Commissioner Wu?
Yes, I'm inquiring about the movie at the park. Was that coordinated with the neighborhood association? We have been doing it for many, many years, but now that you have been doing, we still like to join in as a partnership there, because we bring refreshments and things too, but you also bring so much help for us because we don't have to pay for the field. And the use of the park, and it's something that we traditionally have been doing, but it's really helped that you are taking the full price of that, providing room, but we like to be there with our stuff too, with that being allowed. And some of the activities, I know you had a Christmas program to December after ours, it would be much easier and less cost for us, because basically we're just volunteers, and the money that we raise is from the hardship for a lot of our residents. And that if we could coordinate the Christmas parties together with it, now that we have a new staff member there, she's been very well, like working with her, and that we could manage some activities with the neighborhood association. I'm also impressed with your art crafts. We at the neighborhood association don't have a lot of crafty people, but once we get them, we really like that. So we like to get some kind of activities with the neighborhood and the park to do that. We have been working with Pumpkin Harvest, which we feel has been very successful. We started with 50 people about 10 years ago, and now we're down to we did about 300 this last October. So that was really great.
Yeah, always happy to partner with Artesia Pilar and all of our neighborhood associations. I know that I think we're going back to El Salvador Park for one of the movies in the park. So once we put those dates in stone and we have them confirmed and everything, then I'll make sure Danny and DNA reach out to you so that there could be some collaboration with the Artesia Pilar neighborhood for that particular date.
That would really help us out.
Of course.
And cost of it too.
Sure, understood.
Would you please consider Roosevelt Walker for Pacific Park movie?
I'm trying to remember,
Why was it?
Too small. When last time we went out to Roosevelt Walker, we were jam packed and we had it. I mean, if you guys, with those of you that went out there, we looked for the bigger spaces.
But isn't that a good thing though? That is jam packed. It means it's a good response from the community.
There's not enough lighting out at Roosevelt Walker.
But still, we need it dark.
The movies become very popular that we try to choose the parks that are much larger and then have adequate lighting. You know, also Roosevelt Walker, that area that we do show the movies technically isn't ours, and it always isn't in the best condition and shape for us to show a movie. It falls under the school district, unfortunately.
Don't we have like a relationship with the school district? We're looking forward to maybe asking if we can use them more often.
It's not about using it, it's the condition of the field a lot of times.
Then we need to go to the school district and tell them to fix up the.
Well, it's not for my lack of trying.
I got the message.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I also say that the school district has not been very cooperative with the neighborhood association.
Commissioner Jopper?
You, Deputy Director Gondo, talk about the fun run.
Sure,
And how it came last year, I know it's early, but
Yeah, I mean, something that we're looking forward to every single year. I want to say that we're April 11th this year, right? Yes. April 11th, 5K, 10K, also a fun run for the kiddos and everything like that. We always like to incorporate a theme. I think we've been hitting the decades pretty hard the last couple of years. So this year, our team has put together a superhero theme. So we're going to encourage everybody out that comes out to dress up accordingly and so forth and so on and everything like that. I think we're pretty secure on our route for this year. I think we got good feedback from last year as far as the ending in the stadium. I think we may do some adjustments to maybe we start in the stadium and finish on the street, but we're still kind of figuring out what that looks like and everything. But registration should probably open, I would imagine, sometime in the middle of March to late March, or excuse me, the end of February, beginning of March for our April date and everything like that. And yeah, we're really excited about having everybody out there. It's we transitioned last year to where we were charging for both the 5K and the 10K, which proved to be lucrative, only because when you have a little bit of money in the game, you tend to show up. And so I think that was the big thing, big delta for us from previous years is the 5K was free and we'd have 2,500 people register and we'd have 1,800 people show up. Last year we had a 95% success rate of folks that actually registered actually showing up for the day of the event. So we're looking forward to having that turnout again this year and continuing to grow the 5K, 10K from
second thing is, that idea around the World Cup is really cool. I think do some sort of watch party or some sort of clinic before it, and, you know, you can have somebody in the third party put on and charge, since there'll be excitement around it. It could be something, if you're not already thinking on doing that.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. We're still trying to figure out how we deploy that community event, but there will definitely be not only the actual soccer that is taking place in the tournament that we're setting up together, but probably some pickup games that are over on the side. And I appreciate the suggestion about clinic, because yeah, being able to learn some skills, some foundational skills, I think that would also go over very well with the community.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Any other comments? I just want to thank you for this Cultura magazine. It's so beautiful. I love so much information, and I love that the public continues to submit pictures, but also you all take pictures. And my best friend actually got to make it in.
Oh, very nice. There you go.
I'm gonna show it to her. She's gonna love it.
Yeah, that's a source of pride for us. There are no stock images within our Cultura, you know, and a lot of organizations that are in our industry, they tend to utilize stock images and stuff, but we're very proud of the fact that we not only have contributions from our community that actually fill those pages, but we're taking the time to go and take the pictures to make sure that we're highlighting our community in the spaces of our quality of life programs and everything.
Yeah, it's great to see yourself reflected.
Mhm.
So, I think Manager Laura stole the show.
I agree 100%.
I have no other comments.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Now I'll turn this over to our Park Services Superintendent, Jorge Acevedo, and Public Works Senior Deputy Director, Michael Ortiz, to present the Public Works Agency staff report.
All right, well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Commission members. Thank you for having us. Very tough acts to follow here, but we do our best. It's always fun to attend these because you learn something new. Even though we work so closely with Parks and Rec, I feel like I did learn a lot about our senior program. Before you is the report with very high-level notes on all of the projects within various wards. And if you have any questions on the report, we're here to answer those questions and provide as much detail as you like. To complement that, we put together a brief presentation. It's very brief, but they say a picture says 1,000 words. So we like to incorporate just some pictures of the things we're working on, both in maintenance and in our capital projects. So to kick us off, we have George Acevedo, our Parks Services Superintendent, to talk about some of the maintenance highlights we have in this last month or so.
Thank you, Deputy Director Ortiz. Good evening, Chair, good evening, Commissioners. Like always, I'd like to give you guys a little sneak preview of what we do behind the scenes to support our recreation partners, our counterparts, our park goers, our residents, anybody who's using our parks. And a little bit of a kind of, like I mentioned, what we do behind the scenes. Before I forget, I do want to give a shout out to Juan and his team, which the center looks amazing, and also our facility maintenance team who continues to maintain these centers and keep the lights on and the restrooms working and the toilets flushing.
Very important.
Very nice.
So with that, let me start by saying we're grateful for the rain. I know our turf is thirsty. We definitely received a lot of water, according to the national weather forecast, about 13 to 15 inches of water. Although our parks needed it, there's a lot of flooding that happens in our parks, and I just want to briefly give you guys an update on some of the work that's happening behind the scenes. Our team is prepared with pumps, generators, sandbags, barricades. They're out there cleaning catch basins, storm drains, the case may be. I do want to caution the public, Santiago Park Creek is essentially a creek when it rains, so please, we keep it closed, so just stay out of the water, be safe. I do want to remind the public that the city yard does offer free sandbags in case somebody needs them. November 15th of 2025, our team, in support of the mural that the city of Santa Cruz in our sister city of Sahuayo, Michoacan, held, we provided support in some of the preparation that went in, first the artwork, and second the unveiling of the artwork. We definitely, I don't think that day was raining, so our guys, thank you to them. They've, they weathered the storm per se. They were up there, provided the black tarp that helped kind of unveil it on the roof of the parking structure. From what I gathered, it was a successful event. But just, like I said, once again, it's those things that we do behind the scenes that supports these great events. I wanted to kind of highlight a little bit of our 34 playgrounds that we have citywide. Diverse, everything from the Universal Playground at Thornton Park, little community playgrounds throughout the park. Our guys continue to do repair, making them accessible to all the kids, everything from the vertebrate surfacing, replenishing the sand, the wood chips, fixing the playground amenities. So it's just some more pictures of our guys kind of doing a lot of heavy lifting in our parks. But with that, I'll hand it over to our Deputy Director, Ortiz.
Thank you, George, and very proud of what these guys do. You can see the items they take care of behind the scenes. I show up to the park closest to my house and, it looks like it never rained, or it looks like, everything looks pretty tight, so I appreciate you guys, and thank you. For our capital projects, I'm highlighting 3. We have so much work going on, but the most, the interesting one to everyone, I think, is always the new project. The team has been working very hard to push out the Portola Park splash pad. It's the first of its kind. And this past Tuesday, council approved the construction contract. So we've been doing a lot of work with our in-house crew to get the sewer ran to where the splash pad is gonna go, and to put in the concrete and do some of those things in-house to help expedite the project. Once this contractor comes on board, insurance, bonds, everything that they need to get going, we will have done a lot of the prep work for them. so that they can build this almost 3,000 square foot splash pad, hopefully in time for this summer. The plan is to have it done by July. So it'll be a very fast project. The biggest hurdle here is that some of the equipment just has a really long lead time. So we even tried to order that in advance, and we'll see if we're successful so that we can have it open and active by this summer. So that's exciting. Our biggest project, I would say, the Memorial Park Aquatic Center. There isn't a major milestone. There's some significant things completed, but it's always nice to check in on these projects to let the community and the commission know that we're on schedule. You come across a lot of issues, but you try to do everything you can to get back on schedule. And even these pictures that we recently took, I think Hawk took them and shared them with me. Are these the ones you sent me, or? But since then, even since then, yeah, right. Even since then, a lot of progress has been made, is what I was going to say. So now you do have the exterior walls of the north building up. That pool bottom is installed, and they're just about ready to start the sidewalls on the pool. So it's exciting to just see the progress and see what this first of its kind really. It's going to be an all-electric building, solar panels. It's going to be a really nice project when everything is said and done. So if you have any questions on that, here's some pictures that are now outdated. I'll try to provide some more current ones next time. And then last but not least, we highlight the lake, because if you haven't had a chance to go out there, it is gorgeous. Having been with the city a long time, I still remember the complaints from the residents on Fairview, all the way to Fairview. They would complain about the stench of the lake and how nasty and green it would get. And we've come a long way since then. I think our mayor and council have allocated more resources. We've brought George, and he's established a team that stayed on top of maintenance of the lake, which was a big part of it. But then now we've invested to also upgrade the equipment. So the equipment is new, new features to promote, kind of a self-sustaining ecosystem there. So I think the rec has big plans for the future for this lake. But it's exciting and it's beautiful to see. It's a great complement to all of the other things that we have going on at Centennial. So this one is now done. If you get a chance, and I'm sure Hawk will highlight an event that's coming up there. Maybe you'll get a chance to see the lake at the next event at Centennial Park. But after highlighting these three, I think that brings us to our conclusion. If you have any questions for George and I, we'd be happy to answer.
When are you expected to finish the aquatic center at Memorial?
At Memorial, our construction team currently has it scheduled for the end of September. Yeah, so that one's also moving along swimmingly.
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes. I have a lot of dad jokes. You guys.
At Centennial Park, I know that places allow fishing. Are you allowed to fish? Are there gonna be fish there for people to fish?
Yes, absolutely. And our Parks and Rec team is working very closely with the Fish and Game.
Commissioner, Commissioner.
I do. I have, I wanted to thank you because our sandbags have been very, very helpful. One of the buildings is not getting flooded anymore. And I don't have to vacate my tenant because it starts raining. So they help. And second, I wanted to transmit the message from the residents of Pacific Park. They wanted to say that, to make it very clear, that we had different meetings in regards to the Walnut Urban Greening Project. And they said to tell you that they were looking forward to the the groundbreaking ceremony in this June on Walnut Street.
Oh.
So, because they mentioned, please remind Mr. Public Works, they call you. Please remind Mr. Public Works that I believe it was mentioned that the study with the fire department was already done. And someone mentioned, I don't recall correctly when or what day. They said that the reason why it was decided, according to what they think it is, they decided to do it on Walnut Street was because fire department had the study done that Walnut was the best way to do it. Second, one of the concerns is that if we were already moving forward to get it done in June. That was the reason why we were having different urgent meetings. They feel like we're gonna be losing that funding because we would have to start all over on Pine Street with, you know, studies and reaching out to residents. So to comply all together, they just wanna make sure that we get it on Walnut Street, and if we need to go to council, they said to let us know and we'll go to council, city council. So I just wanted to.
Yes.
That was-
Message received, and I'm happy to meet with the team. I'll share that regarding that project. We are doing everything we can to keep the project going. So I don't feel that we're going to compromise the funding in any way, while complying with all state, you know, local municipality, OCFA, life safety requirements. So right now, the direction was to explore an alternative location so that we can keep the project alive. If the neighborhood insists on Walnut, let me find out from the grant agency what the next steps are, and then we can meet again.
Okay, awesome.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Dover, and then Commissioner Wu.
Question, comment, question. So first one is for George. Can you just talk about the rainstorm and flooding that I believe it's slide 2? How do you guys go about like fixing that? Out of curiosity.
So I think it really depends on the park. And Thornton Park, like I mentioned before, has a high water table. So it has a hard time percolating naturally into the ground. So that one, we gotta help it. We'll set up a pump, with a strainer, and then pump it into the storm drain. Just to help it kind of slowly just kind of, yeah. So that's kind of the move. And then that's basically what we do. Everywhere else, well, depending on the location, or storm drain, or out into the turf, just to kind of, once again, naturally percolate the water. Just kind of help that drainage. You know, our parks are still, you would say, have a dated infrastructure, so it's, you know, we will help it when we can, by
So the fix
remedying the
would be to add more drains.
well, like I said, certain, depends on the park. Like, Thornton Park really has no fix, because just the water table sits so high, and then once it rains, it kind of elevates, so we're basically sitting at the bottom of the water table. So that one, we really gotta, you know, pump it out into the storm drain, help that. Other ones is, you know, once we have resources to redo a playground, we'll install more percolation pits, gravel, sand, underground, to just kind of naturally have it, yeah, percolate back into the ground. And then, you know, drain, sloping concrete, or surfacing, things like that help. As we continue, as we get more resources for one-time capital improvements like that.
Second one was the mural, which was nice, and I thought it was really cool. My mom was born in Hawaii, so she's really, really happy about it. Really excited, so. And then the last one, this is actually for Michael, a little bit harder one, but can you talk about what was the budget for the aquatic center? And are we looking to be over budget, under budget? What does that look like? Under budget, hot sense?
Yeah, so this project is $26 million. 29 with a soft cost. So it's a $29 million project, all in. And it grew when we met with the community, and it was determined that we needed 2 pools. So this is going to be a beautiful project with a fun pool and a fast pool. As construction progresses, we expect to deliver the project well within budget. So everything is moving along. We don't anticipate any issues, but that's in line with what aquatics facilities cost in the area. So we're really getting, you know, we're getting what we're paying for, a state-of-the-art facility with 2 pools.
And it will be a year-round pool too, so as opposed to our seasonal pools that we currently have within our inventory, the effort will be to make it a year-round pool.
Thank you guys.
Vice Chair Zacarias.
Um,
Oh, Commissioner Wu, it was Commissioner Wu.
Yeah, I'm also wondering about the cost, like the Portola Park splash pad. I know the city's kind of putting the budget together, so how much do I ask for a splash pad? For the rest of the Or how much is it?
And I believe it was a $2 million project.
It's $2 million for a
Yeah.
splash pad?
But with the splash pads, we're trying to get them away from actual aquatic facilities. So that's why Portola was chosen, because there's nothing aquatics in that side of town. You know, I get it, El Salvador wants it there, but you already have a pool there, so.
Well, there's a big cement area, just
No, no,
itself
we
that doesn't do anything.
Right.
But if you put a shade canopy over there, it would be nice, I would be happy. I would let go of the park.
Yeah, but we understand it, but we have a lot of areas in Santa Ana that don't have any aquatic facilities or are far away from aquatic facilities. So like South Santa Ana, you know, that's where we identified for our next splash pad to go at Thornton Park, because there's nothing aquatics there. From there, I believe we were moving to, like, we have strategically put it, you know.
I am disappointed to hear that, but how much does this cost?
For the Portola or for a splash pad?
Yeah.
So OC Health treats it just like a pool.
Yeah.
As far as permitting goes and approvals. So in order to put in a splash pad, you also have to provide ADA compliant restrooms. So in this case, it's gonna completely renovate the restroom as well, and then provide a shelter for all the pool equipment, I would say, because that's how the splash pad is gonna work. So all in, you're looking at about a $2 million project to get a splash pad built.
And how about canopies, shade canopies, how much does those cost?
Shade canopies has been a hot item. So our city manager's office has tasked us with trying to find the most economical way to install them and then replicating it throughout the city. Because the cost for those shade structures were coming over $250,000. And I don't know what it is, but it has to do with, you know, anywhere you go, the posts are as big as, you know, as big as this circle I'm making here for the can't see. And the concrete is about 14 feet deep, and it's this massive structure that is very expensive. So we're, you know, trying to value engineer ways to come up with something. We're using the expertise of our in-house maintenance crew to see what, we're even stealing ideas from Texas if we can, to see if we can come up with the most economical way of installing these shade structures. We have some locations that we think would be low cost, but I think we're still floating those around, because then also, as I mentioned, in some areas where you have a high water table, it even affects the foundation and makes it more expensive. So we kind of wanna trial and error where but I think once we put one or two, we'll have this low cost, I'll be able to tell you, you know, $100,000. And now you can say $100,000 for a shade structure. And although it sounds expensive, it's 2/5 of the cost, right? What is that? 40% of what the cost was. And then we'll work our way from that. But they're very expensive right now, just the way they're engineered and the way that the manufacturers who make them, just the pricing. So we're trying to bring the cost down. If that helps.
Thank you, but put us up first on the list.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yeah, and we were just to continue with El Salvador. El Salvador is next on the list to get a full rehab with that pool, because that is an aging pool as well too. So once we finish with Memorial, you know, we're gonna go through so that we're trying to identify funding, and, you know, that pool needs a lot of work as well too. So when we're doing that, you know, the area you're talking about, we have talked about what we could do over there.
Yeah, because the parents are all hiding in the corner, you know, trying to get away from the sun, and the cement is, the heat. It was just kind of horrible there. And it's such a nice area too, I mean, the pool and stuff, so I would like that fixed.
Like I
Thank
said-
you for helping me out.
Like I said, we got 50 parks, we got 5 aquatic centers, we got 10 community centers, we gotta show love to everybody. You know, we can't just stay at one park on such a city, that's something me and my team have really focused on showing love everywhere. You know, so when we look at, you know, when we looked at the aquatics, we looked at where there are not any aquatic facilities, and that's how we identified our first 2 splash pads. When we looked at all the pools, you know, which pools needed the biggest help. Memorial being over 65, 70 years old, you know, their pipes were made out of metal, all the water pipes, they're corroding where they're getting ready, they'll just start busting. You know, in the same way though, El Salvador, we're putting Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid. We know that that pool's next to start looking for funding, looking for grants to refurbish that pool. We're currently doing that to Santa Anita, which will hopefully be opening this summer as well too. So out of our 5 pools, you got 2 that are, you know, almost brand new, and you've got 3 Rositas, you know, in good shape still. Jerome's in decent shape. El Salvador's the next one that we need to work on to bring up the standards.
Okay, thank you. Glad to hear that.
Vice Chair Zacarias Gomez.
Do we have any updates on the Santa Ana app? As far as if you're able to anonymously see the updates on what you've submitted?
I
So right now
I believe
you
right
can't.
now, if you submit it anonymously.
If you submit anonymously,
You don't get a response back, right?
Right,
Yes.
but before, in the older version, you could see the status of it and.
I think it was by design that I spoke to our IT team. There was, we used to get a lot of fictitious or people with malicious intent creating apps that kind of ran everybody in circles. So the idea was they wanted to, as we get the app, be able to respond to a person, like somebody who's a real person, with good intentions. So that's kind of the reason, once I dug into why we weren't able to, or the anonymous person wasn't able to see a response, because in the previous app, I mean, unfortunately, some people with good intentions are gonna experience a lot of the non-responsive, but that was the purpose, is just to keep us focused on real people with real ads, per se. Because we were running around in circles responding to these anonymous apps that were, for lack of a better words, maliciously created with bad intentions. Just so this has really been helpful for us. It's just now we get honest apps with honest people on the back end receiving the response.
But you also get submissions from anonymous.
Right. I mean, unfortunately, that's kind of the compromise, per se.
Not everyone's going to want to provide their information, but has something to submit.
I hear what you're saying. We don't, for the sake of transparency, we won't track or look frown upon people who submit apps. That has been our case. We encourage people to submit apps because it helps us keep our parks. So I would hate to say, review it in a way that we'll be tracking data, who submits more apps than the other person. We appreciate it. We embrace you guys submitting apps because it keeps us busy and it keeps us on our toes. And the sooner you guys submit that, the sooner we can do it. So for now, that's kind of the practice that's taken in terms of the apps.
Have you seen a reduction in submissions?
I think when the city initially transferred, the first couple months we did. I think it took a while for people to actually upload the new version, but now that it's been about 6 months now, we're back up to the same number of apps that we received when the previous app was up and running. And, I think the new one now offers a bilingual platform, and then we're also able to relay the message in Spanish.
I just wish that there was a way to maybe see what the progress is on what you submitted anonymously, but maybe we can try to look into it.
I'll ask IT again, see what they say, because they're the ones that manage that, right? I could only provide a recommendation to see what they come up with.
Any other comments or questions on the commission? Thank you both for your work, and the many that you represent, in your department. You had answered my question around the Santa Anita Park opening. They mentioned the summer, so I'm really excited for that. Rosita Park has self-construct. Can you explain what's going on at Rosita Park? I think
filter renovation.
Okay. I saw
So
that.
that's typically for about 2 months, and we do that 2 hours for students.
Okay.
Just to be able to give the field some time to kind of rest, avoid people from,
Stepping on it.
playing, and just, we're aerated, we'll check irrigation, overseed it, the whole renovation. Renovation program that we carry on those things.
And then, I had previously last year made a recommendation. It's Garden Grove Unified School District who owns the parking lot at Rosita Park next door. The park used to always be available, that parking used to be available to, what the problem is that as you drive when the park is activated and you're driving down, Hazard, the parking gets full, the parking lot's small there. And so then the street gets full, and obviously it's like traffic calming measures, slow down, go right past, right? But you lose access to that park. So I think it's just working with the school district to be like, hey, and I know their main concern is that, your access to the parking lot is gonna give you access to the school, but it's actually very gated. And so you can just, if there's a way that where this contract may be, where the partnerships between the school districts, at least with this is like one area with Garden Grove that I feel, it would be nice to have additional parking. So I just,
Yeah, I mean, I know with Santa Ana Unified, there's usually costs that are incurred, so we need to do a financial analysis of, by opening up the parking lot, are we underwater by having permitted activities that are going on there and everything like that? So don't know, because we don't usually work as often with the DOT. Yeah, exactly. So we can always give a call and see what the cost estimate would be, or is there particular times? Is it like, are you talking like every single day or more so on the weekends?
Programming.
Okay.
Or like the sports, the
Okay.
baseball field gets used.
Gotcha.
I'm just scared that someone's gonna get hit, because it's like, the streets, you're
Right.
driving down, and so the.
You have those cutouts and everything.
Yeah,
along
there's the bike
Castle.
lanes,
Yeah,
and then
I
the cars, and then just one way.
So try to increase our overall parking opportunity by working with
Yes,
school
and it
districts.
used to be available, it's just that they gated it up, so.
Yeah.
Walter, if you're on there, please help us. Okay, so that was it, the parking, and for Christmas, I actually got to Christmas Day, or whenever Christmas, I went to go walk, to go show my family the big sign that we have, that's up there for Rosita Park, that's.
Oh, the digital marquee?
Yeah, so I was like, what? And, there was, so, they're very happy about it. So some folks out there like the blue, that the building got painted blue, and I'm like, hey, it's, they wanted to say, and, I'm just like, it's flexible, it's okay, we love it. But yeah, either way, great job. Okay, if there's no more comments or questions, I think we're almost on our way to closing. Thank you, Superintendent, Deputy Director. We're now on our way to make those closing comments. Executive Director Hawk Scott, do you have any closing comments for the public or the commission?
Again, like everyone said here, Happy New Year. And it's hard to follow up presentations like that, especially as executive director, because you guys see all the hard work, all the projects, all the programming. Right back there, that table back there, you see our part of our community engagement team, who is very responsible for that magazine. You sit right there. And I like to always tell, that's an award-winning magazine, and that's something we're very proud of. As you can see, our recreation is just, we're just getting started. It's beginning of the year, we have so much coming. And, all the projects, Mike and them were coming. We just fired up Delphi. If you guys have gone by that park at night now, it's very well lit. It's being used, and it's great. People feel safe, people are happy. And, we have more projects like that coming around too. But like you said, and Director Pagano said earlier, we use advocacy to our council members to allocate more funding to parks for CIP projects to. As I said earlier, we're showing love to all our parks. A lot of our parks haven't had any type of upgrades or showing love, and with George and I and Mike and Tim, we go to all 50 to see what we can do, the Sandpoint Playground, looking at things to do stuff like that, shade structure, we were trying to find shade structures for everywhere. But at the same time, we're trying to increase the security at our parks, line security's been great, so, we have them again. But, yeah, there's just so much going on and, and I haven't said anything about the zoo, I thank you guys for those of you that showed up for grand opening of River's Edge. It has been a phenomenal hit and success out there. And if you guys are out there as well, we've started construction on our Hive building out there, 3,000 square foot phase 1, which will be, for spacing for classroom, and it opens up to a big old field. So fortunately, we won't have a movie at the park out there this year due to construction, but come, the end of the year, we're having a nice, space out there to do stuff like that. And, as Gano said with our stadium, so a lot of great things coming. It's starting to be put on social media. So, be on the lookout for what we're doing out there. There's a lot of great soccer stuff coming out there, our community. And of course, when we roll back in the fall, we have some really great football programs up there with the Dons, with the high school, with Bonner Bay. So, it's a team effort of what we do, and I can't do what I do without these guys and for y'all's support. So, thank you all. And like Tim said, well, hopefully we see you guys all in 2 weeks out at Centennial Park for our TED Festival. So we're excited for that, and hopefully we can all dress up together. And I do every year. So, so thank you guys. That's all I have.
Thank you, Executive Director. We'll now commence Commissioner comments. Commissioner Diaz, do you have any commission comments?
I do. I just want to thank you all for everything that you guys do, especially the senior centers. And I enjoy coming over and volunteering whenever I can. And to the people hiding on the back, thank you, much appreciated. I love your photos, and I see you guys everywhere getting the best of our city. To our public works, thank you for the great response every time every time I use my Santa Ana app in regards to picking up furniture, to toilet is plugged in the park, to a faucet the water is running and it doesn't stop. I get great response, and then I see the parks, the cleanliness of the parks it's very much improved, from taking my kids, my oldest to my youngest, the parks are really, really nice. So, and the trash are picked up often. And so I would like to thank you for that. Mike, thank you for taking a hit from, for horrible comments as to not wanting to give the park away nowhere else. We won the urban, Walnut urban, what?
Urban greening.
That project, we're not gonna give it up. We're gonna work hard to, that we keep it on our side, but I also wanna, thank you so much for going over and let us know what we can do to work together. We're here to help you. We're actually here to help you guys. Other than that, commissioners and chair and everyone, happy New Year. May this year be full of blessings and may all of our dreams come true.
Commissioner Diaz, Commissioner Gonzalez.
I want to thank everyone for all your hard work and for all the great projects that are coming to fruition, and all the projects you have planned for the future, and to make the city great and accessible to all the residents. Thank you all.
Commissioner Jogway.
Yes, I just want to say thanks for the detail in all your guys' reports. I feel like it really helps us know what's going on in the city, helps us better questions, and also just learn more. So thank you guys for that. And I want to advocate for a movie in the park at Willow Curl Park. So it's a park. So it's we have there's a lot of space there. It's kind of dark, but advocate.
Commissioner Reyes.
The same, I just want to thank everyone. I always learn something a lot every month when I come. And as always, I'm very proud of my city, and because of all of your work and your projects, and I see all the projects that is going on all over Santa Ana, and although some people complain because, the traffic, because, the big, and, I, appreciate it because I know that it's gonna be beautiful, and especially down Bristol, all the work that is being done. And it's just transforming our city to a beautiful one, and all thanks to you. So I am very grateful, and I wish you all happy new year, and may this year be nothing but blessings for all of you and your families. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Rodriguez?
I want to say thank you to all of you for all your hard work. I know when I email or call, it's random, and I appreciate you guys always taking my calls and listening to my concerns. I also do want to say, Director Hawk, thank you for always sending my emails now with the dates of like events, because I know we're busy with life and work and everything, and so I appreciate that because I can, you know, move my schedule around. I do want to highlight and say thank you for the membership exchange that we have with the Zoo, Discovery Cube, and Bowers. My family takes advantage of that. I really don't go to Bowers, but we went, and we had so much fun, same with the Discovery Cube, and hopefully this can happen sometime later on this year because it's awesome. But that's it, thank you.
Commissioner Wu?
Yes, I would like to comment, I've just seen in Ward 5 with some of the projects, and you got grant monies for the 10th Street Flower Street Park, which is great. I wanted to mention that so the neighbors in Ward 5 would know about that. And then there's gonna be the renovation of the Angel Park basketball court renovation, Bridget. And that they're looking forward for those kinds of improvements. So those are the improvements of Ward Park. Also, I'd like to get an update. I guess we got a letter from the residents of Washington Square about acquisition of property. Are we available to get that? Is it going to be feasible, or are we still talking about it?
You can talk about it.
Okay, so we're still talking about it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it
that's
all
all.
comes down to funding.
Okay, that's what I wanted to get an update on that, and so and thank you very much, like the whole commissioner here, I like all this information staff, thank you very much, all of that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Chair Secretary Solis?
Good evening. I just wanted to mention how happy I am every time I go by Santiago Park, by the new playground area, the new green space that we have in the trail. I have, ever since the new update, I've seen a lot of families activate that park in that region of the park that was not really activated before. So I can definitely say that if we activate a park, people will go to them. The residents will activate the parks. So that's something we just have to make sure that we do at each park, that we are doing a really good job at. And I'm looking forward to seeing the next phase of Santiago Park, because then it'll take people on like a complete loop to the other side. And that's the side that a lot of residents that live in that area don't really like to trek over for security reasons, but I've seen a lot of residents walking around more ever since the construction's done. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Vice Chair. I just want to thank the departments for your great work to keep our parks safe, clean, and green. I would request Executive Director that we receive a budget presentation. We did one last year, and so to the extent that you work with the budget team to see to incorporate maybe the meeting in March, to do one of the budget presentations as we did last year. I know maybe a parks tour. I know we are touring the meet per, every other meeting or so. We have meetings at different centers, but if there was just a one-day parks tour, we've done that in the past. We have more commissioners. I don't know if we have the space or or something like that, but that was always fun. Maybe sometime during the summer. That's a little bit more appealing to the weather to visually see the progress that each of you are making. And I'll also talk about, I showed up to City Hall on Tuesday to make public comment on, as chair, I have to, and as a commissioner, I have to speak on issues that mean a lot to the public. And there was reporting, as it relates to the return of $7 million to the state, the rejection of the $7 million that we have received for Parks and Recs programming, childcare, and programming. And I think it's so important as we continue to confront an affordability crisis, not only in Santa Ana, the state, and across the country. I would inquire, I had asked for the city manager to present himself at our February commission meeting to be able to explain to this commission and for the public to understand his reasoning for, or that of his or the city council or mayor for the returning of $7 million. I think it's, you know, in hearing from the public, I don't think that there was as much transparency as there could have been or explanation. And I would like to get support from this commission to continue to investigate why. And, you know, and I actually got to speak with the city manager. Hi, city manager. I got to speak with him on yesterday, and I kind of, you know, brought it up to him, and I would, you know, he won't be able to present, you know, to us in February, but to the extent that I can do my job as chair, and the job of this commission under our bylaws are to provide oversight over the department. And to the extent that the $7 million we have received, we applied for dedicated staff time, and I would like a further explanation for why those $7 million were returned. So I would request that we agendize the discussion for this item. You know, there was already, as he mentioned to me, previous discussion on the city council over this item. And so to the extent that this commission can review that specific item and all those documents to then have a conversation on it. I, as chair, do not want to leave this chairship not having fought for every dollar that we deserve. And so looking back, I want to say that I did something as it relates to transparency and accountability of this council and city manager. So I want to agendize an item on this specific returning of $7 million that the public deserves. And it's a whole generation. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that blame our youth for falling into cycles of violence and not also, and return the money that would have benefited them for positive youth development. And so I owe it to the next generation of Santa Ana who lost this money to fight and find an explanation for why it was done. So with those words, I hereby, the next Parks and Recs and Community Services Commission meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 26th at City Hall at 5:30 p.m. Before the commission, I hereby adjourn the meeting at 7:19.